It is time to talk about the markets with Jim Cramer from the floor of the New York Stock Exchange. And Jim, we are trying to dig our way out of yesterday's declines. What do you think?
Well, I think that if Jerome Powell had not said what he said, which is that the case for more rate hikes is good, I think that we would have been off to the races. The problem with the case for rate hikes is that if you listen to the Federal Express call, they'll tell you, look, business could slow, and they talked about how there's the end of the global synchronized era, which is really pretty stark because that had been going on since January. So I think that there's a kind of a coalition of people who are saying, wait a second, maybe we got to slow down the rate hikes, given the fact that there's been some weak housing data. At the same time, the economy is strong, but you again have to worry about a slowdown because of tariffs. So it was inappropriate for Powell to say what he said is kind of the wrap of the market today, or he should have revised his thinking after the different trade tiffs, or alternatively, he doesn't care. And the latter is, I think, stifling the stock market.
And there we go. Existing home sales down 0.4% in May.
Yeah, we have to worry about these.
Yeah.
It's not
all right.
Good.
Speaking of a slowdown, Starbucks closing stores.
Starbucks, there's multiple problems here. One is that they had to get away from the 3 to 5% long-term guidance, and they chose not to do it. Two, they refused to address the expense issue about having to have bathrooms that are open for all patrons without spending. That's just wrong because it means that you have to put someone on it. Three, they completely missed the Chinese delivery issue that really hurt them in China. If they're so big in China, how could they possibly miss that? Four, we have licensee stores being slowed down, some stores being closed. I have always said that there's a big difference in the quality between a licensee store and a store that's owned by Starbucks. They've never acknowledged that until today. Five, they're talking about how their rewards program is growing, but at the same time, it seems to me a concerted move by a lot of competitors to have really competitive priced coffee. And that's what you want. You want more rewards, more bang for the buck, which a lot of people feel you get from Dunkin' Donuts, which does have inferior comp store sales numbers. So there's a lot not to like.
All right, Jim, oil prices up slightly. We have an OPEC meeting on Friday. You interviewed the CEO of Carrizo Oil and Gas.
Yeah, I mean, he's just saying, look, they're positioned if oil goes up or down, they're fine. I think that there's issues with Nigerian supply, there's issues with Libyan supply, there's issues with Venezuelan supply. The amount of oil that they're pumping is below where we even thought they would when Saudi Arabia and Russia got together. We're pumping 11, but it's not enough because, as Carrizo said, the landlock in Permian's bad. I imagine we would probably be closer to 12, and the oil price will be brought down. That's how much I'm judging because of the differential between Eagle Ford and Permian, $13. So we're not helping the situation right now. Only the Saudis and Russia can produce more in order to get oil down. Oil needs to go down to see worldwide growth pick up. It's one, again, remember, worldwide growth not picking up is one of the reasons why the Dow's not flying today.
And when it comes to trade, Chip Johnson said, look, if China doesn't want to buy his oil, he'll sell it to Europe.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many lies. I mean, look, China's market for oil's fungible. It goes wherever it's needed. China's treasuries being dumped, well, that would hurt themselves. The number of lies. I mean, I was saying last night that China could be the paper tiger. Now, of course, what matters is a paper tiger has to fold. If they don't fold, then it's a war of attrition, and that everybody loses.
Yeah, the media doesn't seem to.
Germany, I mean, look, EU blinked and is cutting the 10% tariff. President Trump, if he would focus on that, would recognize that that's a big win, and he'd seize on it. He seems uniquely unfocused. Whether you hate him or like him, I defy you to say that, to disagree with that phrase. You should be out there immediately saying, Europe blinked, we won. Take credit. Stay focused, Mr. President.
Jim, who do you have coming up on Mad Money tonight?
I got Laura Albert from Williams-Sonoma, who's just remarkable what she's done and doesn't get nearly enough praise. And then I have a company called A-Immune, which is about peanut allergies, and a lot of parents I know want to know a lot more about that.
All right, Jim, we'll be watching tonight, 6 p.m. Eastern. Meanwhile, if you want Jim's take on Disney and Fox, join us on our ActionAlertsPlus.com video after this.